Yo, what's going on, guys? Good morning. Good morning. What is going on? We got a little bit of an earlier than usual show today because I got to get to work. So let's get right on into it, guys. I know a lot of you guys are used to me being on just a little bit later, so I know that we're missing a few people, but let's get into it anyways, guys. Let's talk some Jasmy. As I showed you guys on the morning TA video for Jasmy, RSI is so low right now. We are so oversold on Jasmy, guys, which is a good thing, right? But it looks like we're going to be testing the 2 cent 5 level for support right here, which is a pretty strong level. And if we break down below it, right down here at 1 cent 9 is likely going to be where our next pit stop is going to be. So that's kind of what's playing out right now, guys. And you're asking why that happened. Okay. Well, I talked a little bit about it earlier this morning. You've got a combination of things happening here, guys. The German government, which we're going to get into, transferred more Bitcoin over and sold it off. And we also have some Mount Gox whales who received some of their creditors who have received some of their Bitcoin are also transferring over to exchanges like Binance and taking their profits. So we're seeing sell-offs on two different levels here, which is what's happening with Bitcoin, which is causing the rest of the market to kind of break to the downward, which for me, guys, I am stoked about. I know it's a lot of you guys are newer and you think it's a bad thing. Guys, I have been hoping for the opportunity to stuff my bags on quite a few new projects and stuff like that because I'm almost done stuffing my bag of XCN, and then I'm moving on, and I'm trying to get a couple more projects under my belt before we have liftoff, and this is going to provide me with that opportunity. So I'm super thankful for what's happening right now, guys. Super thankful. Exactly, gonna back the truck up. So let's get into some of the comments here, guys. Make sure you're hitting the like and subscribe to the channel. What do we got? Liquidity. Good morning, crypto future billionaires. You already know this market isn't scaring us. Absolutely, man. This stuff doesn't scare this market, man, or this community. We don't get scared, man. We DCA, baby. Liquidity. DXY has been dumping really bad too. Yeah, I'm gonna look at the DXY shortly. Derek, what's up, buddy? You backed the truck up for Turbo and Jasmy. Absolutely loving it. Nice. Nice, man. Stuff those bags, brother. I love to see it, man. William, what's up, my friend? Good to see you, man. Good to see you guys coming in. Good to see it. All right, guys. So, again, we're going to jump right into the news for the most part because not many of you guys have made it in this morning. So, we're going to get into the news. All right. So yeah, so that's what's happening with Jasmy, guys. I also did some TA videos this morning for Swift and XCN. If you want to go watch those as well, I did some videos on those. See what's playing out on those levels. But let's get into the news. Kind of in a time crunch today, so we got some good DC opportunities, guys. Miria, another project. I'm considering buying a few 100,000 more coins of Miria just because it's down so much. It's a fantastic opportunity to continue to dollar cost average. I stopped DCing into Miria when it was like it made it up over a penny, and I was like, ah, damn, I should probably a little bit higher than I would like now. But now that it's back down to 2033, I think I'm going to pick up a few 100,000 more. Maybe get another million tokens. We'll see what happens. But BTC, man, really struggling to hold 60K right now, $60,178. I think we got further downside to go, guys. I do. I think 57 is in the cards, right? Jasmy's at 2 cents 5.6 right now. Can Jasmy hold? If Bitcoin does not hold 60K, Jasmy's not holding 2 cents 5. That's basically what it's going to boil down to, right? So if Bitcoin collapses below 60K, look for Jasmy to drop down and retest, likely around that 1 cent 9 level, right? So yeah, I mean, if I was you guys, if it was me, like I am, I'm putting some buy orders in down at those levels just to make sure that I can scoop it up if it does wick down there. I could pick up some more. So definitely, man. Swift as well, guys. 2047. Some good opportunities, man. XCN seems to be going against the market right now and pumping. Same with Helium Mobile, but Other than that, guys, there's just, you know what? There's just not really any volume in the market, to be honest with you, right? Like if we go back and we like Tarax is pumping like crazy, but if we go back, like look at the volume on JASMY, it's not very high. So what do we got? GT Rob George says there's no point in owning Aerodrome because Uniswap has everything they have, but Grayscale's getting ready to invest in Aero in Q3. Yeah, the thing is with George, George misses a lot. Like, I don't even know what it is about George. I can't put my finger on it, right? But George has a habit of fudding projects before he does research on them. And then later when he learns about them, then he shills them, right? He's got a bad habit of doing that. So if he's saying something like that about Aerodome, then I mean I would kind of ignore it because it tells me he hasn't really done enough research on the project. He's got a really bad habit of doing that. If he knows nothing about it, he fuds it instead of just saying I don't know enough about it. Like me, if you guys ask me about a project and I don't know anything about it, I just say I don't know anything about it, right? But George doesn't do that. He'll FUD it instead, right? I don't know why he does it. Maybe it's a defense mechanism. I have no idea. But I think Aerodome is a good project for sure. I don't hold any of it for full transparency, so I'm not trying to pump my own bags or anything. But I think it's a good project. And to be honest with you, when it comes to Uniswap, I think Uniswap's days are numbered. If they don't upgrade Uniswap, you have this new generation of swaps coming in, like Swift, right? And like JASMY Super Wallet, okay? You have these next generations coming in that are making it faster, far, 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 far cheaper, right? To swap your coins, and it's user friendly because it's just a swap. You don't have to go, adjust your your slippage and all that stuff. And it's terrible. Uniswap is terrible for new people to crypto. It's not user friendly at all, right? So Uniswap is old tech is what I'm trying to say. And if they don't upgrade Uniswap to match what's happening with these new generation swaps, like I said, JASMY Super Wallet and Swift's swap, then they're gonna be left behind. So it's not like Uniswap is the future of DeFi or anything like that. They're kind of, the way I look at them, they're kind of the past, right? They're expensive, they're slow, transactions fail all the time, and you still have to pay the gas fee on Uniswap. If you try to if you try a transaction on Uniswap and it fails, you still have to pay the gas fee, right? Like, that's old tech, man. That stuff's not going to last, right? Unless they fix it. So, good morning, JASMY gang. Thank you for the TA, Rob. Do you think there's a good chance BTC drops below 57? Well, 57 is a very strong support level. I think that's roughly where the 200 moving average is. 200-day moving average. So it's going to be a strong level of support. But if it does collapse below that, I mean, it is very, very, very possible, yes. And it's because of the selling pressure we're seeing, because I believe the German government still has like 36,000 Bitcoin to sell off. So there's still a lot of selling pressure to come. Mt. Gox is just getting started. So we could see some fantastic opportunities, guys. Fantastic opportunities. Yeah, George was weird. He didn't like it. Then he did. Now he's back to hating, and I'm puzzled by this. Yeah. Well, that's George, right? George likes to shill blue chips, and that's it. Or, like I cannot accuse him of, like, most channels like BitBoy will shill projects that are paying him. George doesn't do that, from what I understand, but from what I see. But George does. He sticks to safety, right? Like, George will shill Bitcoin, and he'll shill Ethereum and Solana, right? I remember before Luna collapsed, he was shilling Luna like crazy too, right? So he tries to stick to blue chips, and I don't blame him. I don't blame him for that. I mean, it's safe, right? Like, you're never going to be accused of being, I guess he was wrong about Luna, but I mean, we're all wrong about Luna. So yeah, I mean, the one thing that doesn't sit right with me with George is that he spreads FUD, That's what I don't like, right? You could stick to blue chips, and I respect that, and that's fine. But why do you spread FUD about projects that you don't know anything about? Like I remember he spreaded FUD about JASMY. He was asked about JASMY, and he bashed it, and it was like he didn't even look at it. He knows nothing about it, but he bashed it, right? So yeah, I don't know why he does that. I don't know. Sam, I said it yesterday, and I'll say it again. I'm loving this crash. I was late to get in earlier in the year. I'm still trying to DCA. I don't care that I'm slightly in the red. Yes, exactly. That's exactly it, Sam. 100%, man. I'm so excited because I was really getting worried a couple of weeks ago that like we were getting ready to lift off and there was going to be no more DCA opportunities, right? But I've been backing the truck up very, very much. So I'm excited. I'm excited about this opportunity. There's still projects I want to get, guys. I still need to get a couple 100,000 more Miria, for example, right? I got my eyes on SEI network. I want to fill up a bigger bag of that. And Pith, where's Pith? I also want to fill up some more Pith. I want a huge bag of Pith, right? I want to get back into HBAR. HBAR at 7 cents is a great opportunity, right? So there's some bags I want to fill back up. I'd like to pick up some Jupiter below $1, right? So yeah, I'm really same with like Quant at 77 bucks. Like, come on, man, give me farms 45 bucks opportunity, man. Ondo at $1.11. You know what I mean? Like, there's so much I want to get still, guys. So much I want to get still, right? Bigger bags. And every single time we dip like this, it gives me an opportunity to stack some more. So Big Kev, what's up, brother? Good to see you, man. Good to see you. Nicholas, what's up, big dog? I think I'll open a trade position and then go on a nice vacation. Nice, brother. I love to see it. All right, yeah. So you guys, let me know, guys, if you guys like the. I started yesterday. I started doing morning TA videos on JASMY, Swift, and XCN. I'm going to do a daily TA video every morning on those 3 projects. Let me know if that's something you guys want me to continue doing or not. But yeah. All right, let's get back into the news a little bit. So I'm going to burn through some of this news, guys. If you have a project you want me to look at, if you have a question for me or anything, send it over in a super chat and I will get to it immediately. But let's get into the news. First off, what do we have? Boom. Buy when there's blood in the streets. Yes, exactly. Got to get that message sent out to the masses, guys. Do not sleep on these opportunities. All right, what do we got? $17 JASMY price might arrive sooner than expected as JASMY heads towards an epic supply shock. Let's talk about it. As Bitcoin staggers to break out of its steady sideways movement, many altcoins are showing signs of massive price spikes in the coming golden bull run phase. Likewise, Toncoin, VeChain, XRP, and JASMY show bullish signs for upward reversals. In particular, JASMY experiencing a high bullish sentiment from the crypto community. Titled The Bitcoin of Japan, JASMY's made many bullish strides to work its way back up to the previous all-time high of $5. Recently, Sony announced the launch of its crypto exchange in Japan. Many speculate this move to be the trigger for a JASMY price spike. This is because JASMY, the Bitcoin of Japan, will likely benefit from any crypto adoption moves made in the country of Japan. Japan has made many bullish strides that have caused the JASMY price to spike before. For instance, when Japan announced the integration of the My Number card into the iPhones, JASMY's price pumped as this collaboration meant JASMY's technology will make it into the Apple products. Other Japan collaborations, such as meeting with the EU, also brought attention to JASMY. This is because the technology used in the EU ID wallet is similar to that of the JASMY technology used for the My Number card. It looks like JASMY is going global, getting global attention since the start of this year. So much so that one crypto analyst and JASMY enthusiast made a very important observation. In detail, he noticed that JASMY coin exchange reserves have dropped on exchanges since October. To highlight this drop, in reserves went from 23 billion to 14.6 billion at the moment. This shows that more users have been buying and holding JASMY off the exchanges, showing immense popularity and high expectations for the asset. In the eyes of the analyst, if JASMY's price adoption and significant outflows continue to grow, then JASMY will experience a huge supply shock in turn. This would raise the price of the token by exponential numbers that could lead to the expected $17 JASMY price as the team foresees. So very, very bullish, guys. And we have been tracking, we've been tracking on the live streams, as you guys know, the exchange reserves of JASMY for quite some time now, right? I even got into a bit of an argument with somebody in the comments because he was like, "Oh, you're wrong about the supply reserves on exchanges of JASMY." Yeah, dude, that's why I showed the chart, right? So anyway, yeah, I was right. I was right. Just saying. Speaking of Miria, guys, speaking of Miria CTO and Miria's product manager, Andy, joined them for a special AMA session dedicated entirely to Miria nodes on July 5th at 7:30 a.m. UTC, guys. I believe that's the evening time Central, around 7 Central or something like that. So if you want to learn more about Miria, guys, they're doing an AMA on the 5th. That's a day after tomorrow. Do not miss that. That's the day after tomorrow, right? Yep, that's the day after tomorrow. So check that out. Check it out. What else do we got? We got bullishness, though, guys. We got adoption. We got bullishness. Crypto adoption in Canada is only at 3% of the population. That's crazy, guys. And I'm Canadian. I didn't know that. That is crazy. Only 3% of Canadians are in crypto. That's how early you are, guys. And I keep trying to get that across, right? People are like, "Oh, I feel like I'm late." I feel like, guys, 3% of Canada is in crypto, right? There's a lot of people here. Not as many people, obviously, in Canada as the States, but there's still a crap load of people. We're a huge country. Only 3% of us own crypto. So perspective is everything, right? All right, what else do we got? BTC has held up pretty well despite this sell pressure. The German government has sent another 832 BTC worth 52 million to exchanges. The continued transfer suggests it plans to sell its whole BTC stack worth 2.7 billion. The US government recently sold BTC as well, leading to concerns it could also dump its full BTC holdings. So we're seeing a lot of sell pressure from the governments, guys, which is fine. Get it over with. We don't want them holding it anyway. Let's get it into circulation. Let's get it bought up by retail and stuff like that. Let's rip this Band-Aid off, right? That's what we doing. That's what, oh, you guys aren't even looking at what I'm looking at. Sorry, guys. This is what I'm looking at, see? So, yeah, let's get this Band-Aid ripped off, guys. That's what I say, right? Let's get it done. What else do we got? Also, we see Mt. Gox is temporary. Trust the cycles. Yes, I agree 100%. 100% with that, guys. Mt. Gox is selling too, but it's only temporary. What else do we got? So Justin, Cointelegraph says BTC falls 4.2% amid potential Mt. Gox repayments. Will 60K support hold? That's going to be a strong level, guys. That's what we're watching, that 60K level. Can we hold it? Or do we fall below? And here's a shout out to all the people that complain, that are up massively but complain about the price. I thought this was funny. Look at this. Crypto holders be like down 10.89%, up 900%, whining and complaining. Yes, a lot of people bought JASMY, for example, at like down at like what 204, 205, 206, 207, and JASMY's at like 2.5 cents, and they're complaining like they're down or something like that, right? Like they're still up massively and they're complaining. It's crazy. Perspective, guys. Perspective is everything, right? Silver lining. Michael Vandepop, BTC trying to close the CME gap, which isn't entirely closed. Expecting this to be closed in the next day or two and bounce from there. So as you can see, guys, we've got this closed. We got to get back down, touch this level, 60,005. So we might have already done it. So Vandepop thinks we're going to bounce to the upside. I'm not so sure yet, but we're going to stay on top of it, right? All right, what do we got? Fit 21 passed the House and 71 Democrats vote. Is exactly the kind of regulatory framework digital asset space needs. Let's check it out, guys.
But do you think the former president would be more friendly?
Well, Joe, it's good to be with you. Look, I think our Fit for Purpose Fit 21 Act that we passed in the House with 71 Democratic votes is exactly the kind of framework that President Trump would support were he reelected and brought back to the White House, because it directs the SEC and the CFTC precisely what kind of regulatory framework we need for crypto, for people who are innovating and starting a token crypto-related firm, how to trade, how to custody those assets, how to make sure consumers are protected. So that framework, I think, is the right approach, and I think that's what I would recommend to the president that he endorse if we haven't passed it between now and the end of this Congress.
You, as a vice chair of the Financial Services Committee, what else would you expect from a reelected President Trump?
Well, on the Financial Services Committee, I think you'll see that President Trump wants to be a pro-growth, pro-innovation president, and therefore something like the Fed and the supervisors are considering now, this Basel III new capital standards for our commercial banking industry. I think that's a very pro-cyclical approach, meaning it will exacerbate downturns. It's an approach that we don't need. It's an approach that even the banks in Europe are generally rejecting. So I would hope that President Trump would reject something like full implementation of Basel III and use a much more tailored, appropriate view to bank regulation as well.
Fit 21's coming, guys. More bullishness to look forward to this year. Perspective. Try to give you guys a positive outlook, right? Show you guys the good that's going on right now. Check this out. The largest U.S. bank and miner. I can't play the video, guys, because there's music on it, but the largest U.S. Bitcoin miner, Riot Platforms, increased their hash rate by 50% in just 1 month as well. Mega bullish news, guys. Mega bullish news. What else do we got? Watcher Guru says, just in. $820 billion asset manager Standard Chartered Bank says Bitcoin could reach $100,000 by August. That would be impressive, guys. If we went in 1 month, we shot up to $100,000 BTC. Alts would have themselves a nice run. Is it going to happen? We'll find out. Only time will tell, right? Deutsche Digital Assets has listed a new Bitcoin macro ETP. More bullish news for Bitcoin. Guys, the adoption, you know, I don't know why some people are bearish. I don't understand. If you zoom out, my God, is it positive? Longtime Joe Biden supporter Novogratz on the aftermath of last week's debate. Let's check this out.
You've been a donor, I believe, to Biden. I remember you came on the air a couple months ago and talked about going to a lunch with a bunch of folks. I think it was actually an effort to try to find somebody to replace Biden. I don't recall exactly where things stood. My question to you now, though, is, do you believe there seems to be a doubling down? And at least those folks around the Biden camp are looking at the donations and the big headline that just came out last night and this morning about how many donations were made in the aftermath of the debate and saying, this is our guy. My question to you is, from the donor class perspective, to the degree you think it has any influence over the future nominee, do you believe that there's a crowd of people that are going to this president and saying, we're not giving you money, we're not voting for you? What's going to happen here?
I know there is. There is a bunch of donors that are furious, that are trying to use all their levers of pressure they can. Listen, you know, it's interesting. People isolate themselves it's his wife, it's a small group of people around him. It's time for Hakeem Jeffries and Chuck Schumer and other senior Democrats to start speaking out and putting pressure on him, because otherwise we're going to lose. It doesn't feel like a smart strategy when 72% of the American public says we think you're too old to run for president. That's not 72% of Republicans. It's 72% of the electoral base.
Not good. Not good for Democrats, guys. Not good. Good for us. Good for crypto. That's for sure. 700 million in Bitcoin shorts will be liquidated at if Bitcoin gets back to 65K, guys. So that's a number we're kind of watching now. If we can get a short squeeze happening, then we could see a larger run to the upside. Another thing that you want to watch out for. Bitcoin ETF saw 130 million in inflows yesterday, the largest in 3 weeks. We've had about 5 weeks in a row now, guys, of Bitcoin inflows as well. 5 days in a row. Did I say weeks in a row? 5 days in a row of Bitcoin inflows, right? So things are starting to turn. What's holding us down right now is Mt. Gox, Germany, selling off Bitcoin, right? But we got to get through it. We got to get through it. And look at this joke of a joke. This meme. Elizabeth Warren. Look at her. The Supreme Court is undermining the foundations of our democracy. Congress must restore balance by adding more justices to the court. So basically what she's saying here is the Supreme Court is not allowing Gary Gensler and the SEC to break the law. So she wants to add more judges that will make decisions that benefit her, right? This tells you everything you need to know about Elizabeth Warren. So the legal system is telling her that she's wrong in what she's doing. So her solution, instead of going, oh, geez, maybe I'm wrong here, and I'm endorsing federal agencies breaking the law, instead of just going with that and saying, oh, I guess I'm wrong. No, instead of that, how about we instead hire judges, replace these judges with judges that agree with me? How about we do that instead? What benefits me, right? Not what benefits the American people. What benefits Elizabeth Warren? We need to get judges in. Otherwise, any judge that rules that is not in the interest of Elizabeth Warren must be destroying democracy, right? Like, the absurdity of this woman truly is astonishing, right? And then, of course, guys, I got to watch this again. I got to watch it again. I'm sorry.
As you know, crypto, though, is becoming almost an election issue. There's reports that former President Trump is going to speak at this big Bitcoin conference. He said that he will end, quote, Joe Biden's war on crypto. And there's one more. It's become such a big deal that Mark Cuban has actually said that you, Mr. Gensler, could, quote, literally cost Joe Biden the election. What's your response to this?
I'm going to be easy with you, Anne-Marie. I don't speak about elections.
Look at his face. Look at that face right there right now. Look at him. Look at him. He was just asked how he feels about the fact that he's costing Joe Biden the election. And look at his face. Look at that face. Ooh. He's so pissed off right now because she said that to him publicly. He's an embarrassment. Oh my God. What a joke of a joke this guy is. I wonder if his wife is sitting at home watching this right now and just laughing at him. Like, my husband's a joke. Let's have a look over at the DXY. She's been trying to dump, guys. Good thing. 3 days in a row of dumpage. DXY is looking dumpy. What's the 15 look like? Boom. Love to see that. Love to see that. Let's go over to the hourly. Love it. That's what you want to see, guys. We need continuation of this, though. Let's keep going down. Let's keep going down. What else do we got? We got the Bitcoin dominance still just kind of going sideways, 54%. And, oh, this, yeah, check this out. Check this out. Little clip here from Paul Barron's network here, talking Gensler, or talking Biden and Gensler.
Here's Jake Tapper, CNN, grilling the Biden campaign. Listen in.
Everybody has a bad night.
So, with all due respect, it is not honest to say that this is just one night.
Stupid commercials. Got to mute it so I don't get hit with the.
I'm not sure I'm going to introduce you all the way.
That doesn't trouble me at all, Jake. Frankly, you can put up a dozen clips of me, of you, of anybody who's on TV, who speaks publicly all the time.
And I don't think it's fair to compare you or me losing our train of thought with whatever we saw on the debate stage on Thursday and that little clip from 2 weeks ago. But let me move on to one other question. The Biden campaign wrote in an email this weekend, quote, "We'd switch to candidates who would, according to polls, be less likely to win than Joe Biden, the only person ever to defeat Donald Trump," unquote. Then the email goes on to show polling from, to be honest, partisan pollsters that shows Vice President Harris, Governor Gavin Newsom, Pete Buttigieg, and how they match up. Now, to be frank, they're only 1 percentage point behind Joe Biden in those head-to-head matchups with Donald Trump. So it does not actually look as though there would be that much of a difference between the guy who has been president for 3+ years and has been spending tens, hundreds of millions of dollars running as a Democratic nominee and the people who haven't even been running.
What's your question, Jake?
How does that make your point?
Jake, I may be missing something. You're asking me to explain and defend an email that I didn't author or send out.
Let me just ask you, do you truly think that President Biden is the strongest candidate to take on Donald Trump in November?
I think Joe Biden, two things, is the strongest, most accomplished president we've had in my lifetime.
Not the question.
That he's been going up. We are headed in a strong direction. And he's got a great platform to run for re-election. He is not the only Democrat who can run for president. That's not what I'm saying.
All right, so there you have it. I mean, CNN, which has been very favorable to Biden in the past, of course, did not throw him a lifeline. If he stays in the race, could he do anything that would maybe at least win the crypto crowd? What would be one thing he could do to win the crypto crowd?
He'd have to fire Gary Gensler himself. And Gary Gensler would have to go at this point. I think that would be it.
All right. Well, that's the point I believe we're hitting on. Crypto takes fight. Let's fight with the SEC directly.
You would have to fire Gary Gensler. Exactly. That's what I said to you guys like 2.5 weeks ago, 3 weeks ago, when we talked about how Biden was trying to turn pro-crypto, pretend he was pro-crypto now because Trump is, right? And I said, Biden can talk out his ass all he wants about how he wants to pretend he's pro-crypto. Unless he actually does something that's pro-crypto, I don't believe him. I don't believe him, and I don't think crypto investors will believe him either. He spent 2.5 years attacking crypto, right? So nobody believes him. Unless he does something like fire Gary Gensler, no one's going to believe him, right? So, and I hope that his team, the people around him are telling him right now, you got to make a big move for the crypto crowd. You got to fire Gary Gensler, right? I would love to see Gary Gensler unceremoniously walked out of the SEC with his box of his personal belongings. See you later, bud. Have a good one, right? That's what Biden needs to do. And then I will maybe start to believe that he's turning pro-crypto, right? All right, and we got Pomp here over on Squawk Box. Let's check this out.
As Bitcoin has fallen, spot Bitcoin ETFs hit their highest daily inflows in a month. Right now, we've got Bitcoin hovering just around 62,000. July 1st saw $129.5 million of inflows. Fidelity's Wise Origin Bitcoin Fund nabbed the most of it, about 65 million, followed by Bitboy's Bitcoin ETF, 41 million, and the ARK21 shares Bitcoin ETF with 13 million. All three ETFs are trading lower today because they move obviously in conjunction with the price of Bitcoin. Now, since the SEC approved a slew of spot Bitcoin ETFs back on January 10th, Look at the total net inflows. They now stand at $14.5 billion, according to crypto site The Block. And with hopes rising that the SEC is close to approving spot Ether ETFs, crypto exchange Gemini predicts Ether ETFs could see up to $5 billion of net inflows in the same period. SEC Chair Gary Gensler previously said Ethereum ETF approvals could take place sometime over the course of the summer. Here with his expected approval timeline, Pomp Investments investor Anthony Pompliano here in a Fox Business exclusive. I don't know what to take first, but I think it's pretty significant that as the price has fallen of Bitcoin, we have a pretty significant inflow for the Bitcoin ETFs yesterday. Is this a gutsier or more aware crowd that says,
Real quick, Pomp always looks so like creepy and proud of himself at the same time whenever he's on the air, doesn't he? I just had to point that out. I don't know.
Want to participate in the cryptocurrency movement?
I think that retail investors and institutions have both realized that Bitcoin is a resilient asset that's going to be worth a lot more 5 or 10 years from now than it is today. And therefore, when there are these dips, they look at them as buying opportunities. And if you think of great investors, they understand what they own. And when those assets go down in price, they buy more. And so it's the people who actually question if the price moves against me and should I buy more? They just may not understand what they actually own. And so what's interesting is if we go back over the last couple of bull and bear market cycles in Bitcoin, we used to see a lot of 30% drawdowns. In 2017, there was 5 or 6 different 30% drawdowns. In the last cycle, we saw a couple of 25% drawdowns. Now what we're starting to see is only about 15% drawdowns. And so the volatility is actually being dampened. And there's this persistent kind of inflow coming from these ETFs, which historically was not there. And so I think that really serves as this great tailwind for Bitcoin going through the end of the year.
You just said that some investors buy things they don't understand. I think a lot of people who are in Bitcoin might not understand it. They don't understand what causes it to move, because sometimes if the stock market's falling, Bitcoin's up, or if the stock market's falling and Bitcoin is down. Can you give them any insight on this?
Yeah, what's really interesting is one of the great lies in the Bitcoin world is that nobody cares about the price. Actually, price is the marketing for Bitcoin. There is no centralized team. There is no board of directors. There is no marketing budget. So what usually happens is when the price goes up, everyone starts talking about it. The media covers it. And people go and they say, oh, well, if it went up, maybe it's going to go up more. And they go and they buy some. And so most people I know actually showed up to Bitcoin initially because they wanted to make money. They wanted to buy it and have it go up more. What ends up happening is as they start to hold that asset, it's very volatile. So it goes up a lot, goes down a lot, and it makes you start to say to yourself, what is this thing that I hold? And it puts them on this learning journey. And so what ends up happening is you go from a speculator looking for price appreciation to someone who then begins to appreciate things like sound money principles and turns you into a long-term holder. And so if you look on chain, you can literally see majority of people who hold Bitcoin are not selling it when it goes down in price or when it goes up.
They're holding.
But they're holding. But people definitely are showing up initially because they think that I can buy this thing and it goes up, 2x and I'm going to sell it. And so over time, the Bitcoin community has to educate those individuals, whether they're retail or institutions, to become those long-term holders.
Well, if this is any metric, Michael Dell put out a tweet. He put out a poll. Did you hear about this? And in this poll, he asked, what is the most important thing to you in your life? Is it Bitcoin? Is it AI? Is it love and relationships, or none of the above? 43% said Bitcoin. 39% said love and relationships. But I mean, clearly a lot of Bitcoin aficionados like Michael Saylor dropped in and probably punched that up. But you've got Michael Dell as a multi-billionaire. And then you've got people who are just regular folks who are buying this crypto. The SEC said sometime this summer we would have a second choice, an Ether ETF. When do you expect that will happen?
I definitely think it's going to happen, sometime this summer, July, August. There's more and more rumors that it's going to happen sooner rather than later. So in the next couple of weeks, potentially. But I do think that Ether has somewhat of a problem that Bitcoin doesn't have, which is, Bitcoin is the larger asset, about $1.2 trillion. Ether, about $400 billion. So there's a size component here of just how much money can institutions really put into Ether versus Bitcoin. But the bigger problem, I think, is the story. If I go on the street and I ask somebody, what is Bitcoin? A lot of people will say some version of it's a store of value, right? You put it there, it's going to be resilient. It's going to allow for the protection against the debasement of the currency. If I go and ask those same people, what is Ether or what is Ethereum? It's a very convoluted, complex story. And so some people will tell you it's a world computer. Some people will tell you it's an app store. Some people will tell you that it's
attached to it.
There's all kinds of stories. And so the story just isn't as clear. And I think one thing we've seen over the years is, look into the public markets. If you're a single company with a single product serving a single market, it's pretty clear what you do. But if you go and you look at things like conglomerates, a lot of times, because it's what is this thing? There's too many moving pieces.
Yeah.
They actually trade at a lower multiple.
And they end up having to spin off parts of it.
Correct.
Really quickly, what is the high end of the range you see Bitcoin at for the rest of this year?
I think that Bitcoin will continue to appreciate. I think we will get new all-time highs before the end of this year. I just think that the Bitcoin community should understand that now that we have institutions and ETFs here, the volatility will be dampened. And so it may not go up as high or as fast as you want it to, but still it's this asset that is going to continue to perform because they're not going to stop debasing the dollar.
So higher than the recent high of 73,000.
I think so by the end of the year.
Pomp, good to see you.
Thank you so much for having me.
Thank you for your service
Appreciate
every day, not just on this upcoming 4th of July holiday.
Appreciate it very much.
I agree, guys. I think before the end of this year, we're going to see well over $100,000 Bitcoin. 100%. I agree with that. Check this out, guys. A little perspective, and I've said this to a few people before on one-on-ones and stuff like that, but because sometimes people, they come to me when they're new to crypto and they say, you know, how realistic is it that I can become a millionaire in crypto, right? Because, I mean, generally you have to admit, when you come in and you first start hearing about stuff, it can sound too good to be true, right? Granted, we all know after being here for so long that it's not easy at all to hodl and stuff like that, but I just wanted to show you guys something for some perspective, okay? I wanted to leave you guys with this perspective here, okay? Check this out. I asked Google how many millionaires were created in crypto in 2021, which was the last bull run, okay? The last blow off top. It says during the previous bullish market trend in 2021, the total number of crypto millionaires stood at more than 150,000. 150,000 people were turned into millionaires from crypto in 2021's bull run, right? And that is with, you might say, well, that's not, you know, compared to the amount of people in the world, that's not a lot. Guys, only a tiny percent of people are actually in crypto right now in terms of the entire world's population, right? So when you take that into comparison, it's actually a very large number of people, right? So the opportunity is there. It also created, as you can see, it says there are currently 22 crypto billionaires worldwide who've become billionaires in crypto. Okay? This is entirely possible for you to do. You got to be strong. You got to get through the red days. You got a dollar cost average, and you have to know when to sell and take your profits. And then you have to roll those profits into the bottom of the next bear market and do it all over again, guys, right? You can do this. All of you can do this. You don't have to be some super genius. You don't have to be have some rare skill that only certain people have. Well, I guess kind of you do. Patience. That's the skill that you need to have. Patience, right? You can do this. All of you can do this. It's up to you. Let's get back into the chat. Got a super chat going on from Willie. Load up on Jasmy. Thank you so much, Willie, for your support. As always, man, you're always here supporting the channel. Means a lot, brother. You are the man. Much, much appreciated, man. Let's get back over to the chat. Where were we here? Kevin, Binance is blatantly holding Jasmy back. It's insane. I agree, brother. I agree. Man, I'm so confused. Some folks saying the bull run is over. Some saying it hasn't even started. Why is there so much division in this topic? Because of the ETFs. That's why. Because of the ETFs. The ETFs, I did a video on it. It came out the other day. I would recommend you go watch it. But to sum it up, these spot Bitcoin ETFs have artificially inflated the price of Bitcoin, which has caused the charts of Bitcoin to go wacky, which is causing a lot of people to think that the market cycle is ahead of where it should be, and it's not. The rest of the market, in terms of altcoins and everything else, is exactly where it should be based on the last 3 cycles, right? So a lot of people are getting screwed up because of the artificially inflated price of Bitcoin due to the spot Bitcoin ETFs, okay? What you have to do is look back at history, okay? So in the last 3 bull runs, the last 3 cycles, from the Bitcoin halving to the top of the market to the peak of the market is generally an average of around a little over 500 days, okay? In every cycle up to this point, 500 days. We're only about 75 days past the Bitcoin halving. We're not even close to 500 days past the Bitcoin halving. So to say that the bull run's already happened is to say that somehow, some way, the market shifted so dramatically that we went from around an average of 500 days from the Bitcoin halving to the peak of the cycle to only 70 days, right, for starters. And then you'd also have to say that we went from most projects reaching new all-time highs to none of them, for the most part, reaching new all-time highs. That's a dramatic difference in the last 3 cycles, the only 3 cycles crypto's ever known, and this one. So to say that it's over, there's just a lot of metrics out there based on historic cycles that says that that is an inaccurate statement to say that the Bitcoin bull run is over, the crypto bull run is over. It's completely preposterous to be thinking that at this point. Grab me some Ondo. Nice, Diamond Balls. Good stuff, brother. I am Roots. Nice. People are stupid. The bull run has not even happened yet. Yes, I agree, man. It's called the shakeout. I agree. Only 3% of Canadians in crypto. Is it because most of them don't know about it, or because they just don't? It's because for a while there, Canada was making it just as difficult as the United States was to get into crypto, right? So that was a big factor. There's a lot of exchanges here in Canada that can't be used, that can't, like, we don't have Binance, for example. There's no Binance in Canada anymore. They had to pull out like a year and a half, 2 years ago. So yeah. Sun is hot. What's up, buddy? Good to see you, man. I say keep crashing until the official bull run so I can collect more Swift. Yes, 100%, man. Angelo, what's up, buddy? Dang, Jasmy dumping more and more. Who's DCAing? Me, man. This guy. Boomer's in the house. What's up, buddy? Good to see you, man. We still have the ETF pump probably coming ending July, so there's that. No reason to panic. Exactly. Fast Too Curious. What's up, fam? Good to see you, man. Good to see you. Loading my bags on the dip. Willie, absolutely, man. Boomer, oh, sakes, Biden hasn't done a damn thing in 50 years. No one loves poor Gary. Yeah, Gary needs a hug, man. And when the news starts talking about Biden, it means we're getting close. Yes, 100%. I've been holding 1 mil Jasmy for over 1 year. I'm 20K down currently. You've been holding Jasmy for a year and you're down. How are you down if you've been holding for a year? A year ago, Jasmy was like, the price of Jasmy was like 206, 207 in value. Now it's like 2 cents. You shouldn't be down 20K. Dono, what's up, buddy? Good to see you, brother. Good to see you. Don't stop believing. Absolutely, man. Deepak, what's up, man? Good to see you. Render, yeah, Render in the house. We love Render. This is my first bull run, and it does get frustrating, so I just keep buying the dips. I'm up 50K and got in early, so yes, there is light at the end of the tunnel. Stay strong, my friends. Absolutely, man. That is the way you got to look at it. Lots of panic selling after FOMO in the 3 cent range. Yes, absolutely, Travis. Faye, what's up, man? Instead the moon, it's traveled to Earth center. Yeah, no kidding, eh? It can feel that way, man. There was a huge pullback in the last halving. Can you show that? Yeah, I've shown that on charts before. I mean, here, let me hang on. Let's go back. We'll have to go to like the weekly. Hang on. I'm trying to pull it up. See if I can find. I pulled it up before. See if I can find it. We're looking at, so 2020 was around 2019, right? I mean, this was the peak of it, right? This is our double top here. right? So yeah, I mean, you see, that's the thing. When you zoom out, you can't even see it, right? Or Binance just doesn't have it on the chart. This is the weekly. Let's go to the daily. See if we can identify it. What do we got here? 2022, 2021. We had multiple dips. We looked at this before, but we had multiple going into the, this is roughly where we are right here in the cycle, right? Right in this part here, okay? In this cycle. This was 2020, 2019, 2020 area, right? Before we hit the blow up top in 2021. So here we had, look, we had this massive dip here. I know it doesn't look like it's massive, but it is, right? It was a huge dip. Another big dip here, leading up to the peak, to where we started to lift off, right? We had another one here. We had another one right here. We had a dip there. We had a dip there. And I know they don't look big here, guys, but when you were going through them, they were. Those are like 20% dips and stuff like that. Look at this one, probably 40 or 50, right? And then as we move forward, we just kept getting these dips going up to the peak, right? Like, look, these don't feel big at the time, but they are, right? And then look what happened. Look what happened afterwards, right? So if you can survive, these dips that happen, guys, right? All through the boring phases, and people panic. Like, where else do we got? This one kind of worked its way down a little bit. Like, look, you got another one here, right? This worked its way down here. So, I mean, like, these happen all throughout a cycle. It's just staying strong enough in them, right? And then we fast forward to today, like, here we are here. Like, look what we just had. This is where we are right now, guys, right? But we have these kind of pullbacks, right? Again, they happen. Look at this. Look at that. Look at that. Right? Happen all the time, guys. So just stay strong. That's all you got to do. Beebs, greetings, future crypto millionaires. What's up, buddy? Good to see you, man. Nothing but the North Talk. What's up, my friend? Haven't seen you in a couple days, man. Good afternoon. I almost sold everything. Nah, you didn't fool me for a second, brother. Didn't fool me. I know you wouldn't do that. Love Jasmy. Kevin, you said you always buy the dips, and you said from another chat room you were down 100K. What's going on with your story? Okay. How to? Are you waiting to DCA at 2 cents 5? I have a buy order at 2 cents 5. I also have a buy order in at 1 cent 9. Beebs, I find it funny that we're only 2 months after the Bitcoin halving and people are complaining. Ignore the noise. Focus on October and beyond. Exactly, Beebs. Exactly, brother. Jamie, how you doing, my friend? Good to see you. Shane, yo, good morning, everyone. Good morning, Shane. Good to see you, man. People saying Render is overpriced and not actually a coin like ICP. I don't know anybody saying that about Render. Render is a fantastic project. How high do you think Render can go? I mean, Render, I haven't really done a price prediction video on Render or anything, but I mean, Render's got potential. I mean, $60, I could see Render hitting $60 conservatively on the low end. Filled some Swift orders yesterday at 2046. I'm up 3.2. Nice. From 4 cents now I'm up. Oh, okay, perfect. Okay, I misunderstood. Man, Jasmy turned my life around last bull run. Many people will fail to hope. Yes, hop into like Noah's Ark. I agree, man. I agree. And listen, I feel the same way, brother. Same way for me last bull run, right? A lot of these projects changed my life forever, right? And I try my best to pass that experience on. But some people, you can show them how the cow eats the cabbage, man, but they just won't listen. You know what I mean? Sideways summer, absolutely, Beebs. That's what we talked about, man. I'm less angry with big dips. It's the little ones that make me angry. Go figure. Nice. You have the wrong Kevin. Sorry. All right, guys. So listen, we're all caught up in the chats. That is the news for the day. I got to start getting ready for work. Guys, if you're new here, make sure you're hitting the subscribe button. Help the channel grow. Would definitely mean a lot. And also, guys, listen, if you want, my time is getting booked up over on the Patreon like crazy, guys, because I've started booking one-on-one coaching sessions and stuff. If you want to get in on that stuff, jump over to the Patreon, guys, because my time, like, I'm running out of spaces here. So don't miss out. Jump over to the one-on-one coaching sessions. We're also doing technical analysis trading over there as well. I've uploaded a couple of videos now teaching you guys some of the patterns and stuff. So check out the Patreon, guys. Fast to Curious. Hey, Rob, what's up, man? You got a question before I dart? Let me know. And yeah, so that's about it, guys. Also, follow me over on X. Do me a favor and do that. Follow a brother on X. If you're watching on X, click the follow button. Help me out. Help the channel grow. Get into Hoppy if you want. I don't think it's too late. And the character before Pepe. It's the character before Pepe. That sounds familiar. I'm gonna check into that. And I'll talk to you about it tomorrow in the morning live stream. I'll look at it tonight because I got 5 minutes to get out the door. So, all right, guys, we will talk tomorrow morning. I'll see you guys for the live stream. And Fast and Curious, I will have a look at Hoppy tonight, man. Thank you so much. All right, guys, I'll see you later. Have yourselves a fantastic rest of your day. Stay bullish, guys. Buy the dip.